Before we get started with our discussion of the Client Center, I want to discuss with you for a moment the data hierarchy of the MARS system. And what I'd like you to do is I want to take you to take a look down here at the bottom, and we're basically going to work our way up. Basically, all of the records that contain reportable information, that being monthly activity records, performance records, holdings, any type of transactions, related documents, client notes, things like that. Those are all related to an account number, or also in the interface you might see portfolio being used. Account and portfolio are interchangeable in my nomenclature here. So basically, going from the bottom up, we have all of these various records that are either being manually entered into the system or imported from Advent, and they are all linked to an account. Now, we can create a relationship, or we can create a linkage of multiple accounts that roll up to become a client. So a client can hold multiple accounts. So as you can see here on this illustration, I've got 2 clients, and each of those clients own or are related to 3 portfolios or 3 accounts. Now, a relationship is sort of an umbrella linkage on top of the clients, so you can create a relationship that encompasses multiple clients. So if you were to report on a relationship, you'd be generating a report of 6 portfolios. If you're running a client level report, you would be running a report on 3 portfolios. If you just had an individual portfolio selected, you would just be running the report on that selected portfolio. Okay, so the next stop on our tour here, our training, is a demonstration of the Client Center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a bunch of different things here. I'm going to show you the data hierarchies in action. I'm going to show you how to navigate and filter. I'm going to show you how to customize the interface. I'm going to show you how easy it is to export data from any of the data tables into Excel. And then we're going to go in and we're going to create a client, create an account. We're going to add an account to a client. We'll create a relationship, and then we'll drill down into the various screens here and give you a better feeling for what lives under the hoods at some of these different levels. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to demonstrate the data hierarchies. If you take a look down in the bottom right-hand corner here, and you can see where I'm highlighting with my mouse here, when we come into the system, and I'll select an individual portfolio here, you see it says portfolio. This means that this particular account is active, and if you were to run a report right now, it would be a portfolio level report. And if you take a look here in this reporting box, you see 5 reports here that could be run at the portfolio level. If I go up here and I click on a client level, you can see that this box changes, and it now gives you a selection of reports that could be run that are at the client level. Some of the different report pages that are in the system are only available at certain levels. So what we do is when we design the reporting, we assign different reporting levels to them. So then finally, if I click down here into the relationship box, you'll see relationship level is now selected. So to know what level you're on, just take a look in the bottom right-hand corner. So right now you're at relationship level. Right now you're at client level. Right now you're at portfolio level. And so that's the first thing you need to know about the hierarchy. So like I said before, or from the illustration that we saw before, portfolio, we have 1 portfolio active. Client, we have multiple portfolios active. relationship, we have all the portfolios active that are in each of the clients that are in that relationship. So I'm going to go and pick an account down here, and I'm not going to take you through some of the various tabs. First, we're going to take a look at the Activity tab, okay? And what the Activity tab is basically it is a monthly record that is a synopsis of everything that has happened in the portfolio for a monthly period. We've got an opening market value, opening accrued interest, we've got cash flow values, realized and unrealized gain and losses, income, change in accrued interest, closing market values. We've got our return numbers over here, both on a gross and net basis. So that is Activity. Now you can filter these records. So right now I've got all periods. If I want to take a look at the last 3 periods, I just highlight that filter and you see that we get the last 3 periods. Now, what happens to this if I select a client? If I click on a client now, every portfolio that is attached to that client is now displayed in that box. So if you wanted to take a look at what this whole relationship looked like, you'd say most recent period. And so now you can see all of the client records of all the portfolios that were in this client for this particular period. You can also go through and you can go and enter a specific period range if you'd like, and you can filter out records. So I want to go back to all periods on a single account here. If you right mouse click in this box, you can export this table to Excel. I'll just go to my desktop. And that's how easy it is to get data out of the system. If you want to customize your interface, most of the tables have an arrow up at the top right corner of the table, and the first selection here says Select Columns. So let's say that you are an equity-only manager and you never have any accrued interest. We can click on here. Let's say you don't want to take a look at individual deposits and withdrawals. We don't want change in accrued interest, and we don't want any closing accrued interest. What this will do is this will create now the view of your data, and it'll save this for the next time you want to use this interface. So it gives you a moderate amount of customization for your data tables when you're viewing and you're working with your data. We go over here to the Holdings tab. And here again, we've got holdings records for this particular the highlighted portfolio. If I go back and click the client level, I'm going to get all of the holdings at that client level. If I go and I click on the relationship, we're going to get all of the accounts. I don't know if it necessarily means anything to you looking at that much data, but perhaps you have a need to export that kind of thing, and the interface makes it easy to do so. Advent Access users, we have the ability to import your performance files both on a gross and a net basis, and we have segregated the different performance records for you from the total portfolio records, the asset class records, and then finally you've got all of your performance records here. So this is what I feel to be a better interface for viewing Advent data. I don't know if it's necessarily detailed enough to be doing full operations work, but if you want to query your Advent data, Mars is a good first stop because the data is related very well. The transaction tab, if you elect to import your data this way and you elect to run reports on purchases and sales, realized gains and losses, income and expense, we will go ahead and we will roll those up for you each period and create these rolled up records without having to look at the individual client files in the Advent system. Then finally, we've got two more tabs here. One is for related documents, and then another one is here for client notes. Now, I'd like you all to notice something here, and this is pretty consistent throughout the MARS database. When you're looking at the data tables, we have, you see these little buttons that say A and E. A stands for add, E stands for edit, and D stands for delete. So over on this side, if I've got the activity tab highlighted and I highlight on A and I click A here, I could manually add an activity record. Okay, we're going to get back to that in a moment here. If I click E, this would let me edit the highlighted activity record. Clicking D asks me if I want to delete this activity record, and currently I do not. But so moving on to the holdings tab, A means add holding, E means edit holding, D means delete holding. Okay, so these tabs, they say, or these buttons stay in the same spot on the interface, and they just change their functionality based upon which tab you're on. So let's see, we've covered data hierarchies, we've covered navigation, you've seen how to customize the interface a little bit. Let us now start talking about how to add data to your system.